everybody. It's Matt from Lights Out Collective. We are here at the Worcester Public Market at Namaste Woo, and I'm here with one of the founders of the restaurant. So please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kashfi Vishal, and me and my family are all founders of Namaste Woo, and I wanted to thank Matt for having me today here.
Of course, yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So actually, it's my mom's idea, Namaste Woo. It was her passion for food. It's her passion for doing something that actually brought us to this stage.
Mm-hmm.
And, that paired with my dad's handling all the logistics and the finance, me pitching in a little bit, being the cashier for a while. Mm-hmm. And even my little sister, she's a really creative girl. So she's like responsible for all the fun writing that you see in Namaste Woo, all the little typography.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a team effort between all of us. And that's the secret of Namaste Woo right there.
It's nice that it's all pretty much like family, coming together, working together. When did the idea of Namaste Woo first kind of come to fruition?
So it was around 5 years ago, back in 2021. That was when it started. And actually, every time that when I was a little kid, we used to watch MasterChef.
Yeah.
On television.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of my mom's cooking.
Okay.
And we're like a foodie family. We like our food. So I used to always tell her that, hey, you should join MasterChef, that I would love to see you on there, showcasing this. So that's just like a little seed, I would say. Mm-hmm. And when we got the opportunity to, present ourselves like this, I was like, Mama, you have to do this because this is going to last more than just a season.
Right.
This is going to have a much more bigger impact, and it's going to be like a great opportunity for you.
Yeah. So. And then I know we spoke briefly when we first met, and you kind of told me a little bit more about just bringing up the year 2021, 2020. We had a lot of going on in the world.
Yes.
Would you say that was also a contributing factor?
I think
COVID being a thing.
Yeah, no, I think to an extent, yes. So as I said, we did open a little post-COVID. We opened in 2021, mm-hmm. September actually.
Okay.
But the pandemic definitely hit a little reset. We were definitely out of routine. Mm-hmm. And I think that time that was given to us definitely helped us brainstorm a little bit more that, okay, maybe we should go ahead with this idea. So it did give us a little buffer, mm-hmm. a little break from routine where we thought that, okay, we should definitely go for this. And that's how we started. And actually, Namaste Woo wasn't our first business. We were into spices before.
Okay.
So we would sell all the Indian spices like turmeric and all the nihari spice. So those are very hardcore traditional. So we used to make everything. Mm-hmm. But then that led to people being like, okay, this is great, but we don't know how to use this.
Right.
And again, this was all during that pandemic time where we're still having our little buffer.
Yeah.
So we were able to pivot, able to recalibrate very fast according to the feedback that was given to us. So very soon we opened meal kits, mm-hmm. where we would basically, pre-portion all the spices, give you all the ingredients in these little boxes. Mm-hmm. People love biryani, and it's a very complicated recipe. So we would just pre-package the rice, all the spices and everything, and it would be kind of like we do all the prep and you be the chef.
Yep.
And people loved that idea, and that's actually how we got into the market.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is all happening within a year's time.
Wow.
So I would definitely credit the pandemic for giving us time to explore.
Yes. And I think that's a big thing. There was initially a big downtime, I believe, 3 months where if you weren't an essential worker, you had time off from work, and
exactly.
you kind of, had to decide whether, you're taking that as a vacation or kind of planning your next step and what you might do. And I think it showcases the importance of downtime when you're always so busy in the hustle and bustle of life, but being able to kind of, like you said, take a step back, recalibrate, mm-hmm. and kind of plan what your next move is, and the reward that can come from it. So you talked about your background a little bit, and then why you are interested in opening the market and mm-hmm. stuff like that, starting with the spices and then the meal kits.
Yep.
But then what led up into the creation of Namaste Woo?
So as I said, right after the meal kits, actually the market was very supportive of us. The market opened early 2021. So we were in here pretty early. And, the market was like, we are loving this. Like, there's a market pantry right by the entrance. And so people were like, buying things. And usually the manager of that place, she hosts all these local Worcester products. So we were lucky enough to have our meal kits over there. And people were like really liking this because Worcester didn't really have a lot of Indian restaurants, Indian representation. So there were some people who never had Indian food before. So this was definitely a first, but it was good to see a different variety and people were very open to that. So seeing the response, the market was like, hey, we have a space open. If you guys want to come in and do the restaurant, you should. And so that's the thing that we caught on, and that's the opening of Namaste Woo.
I was going to say, because like you said yourself, kind of the Indian culture was kind of, in the background, if not present at all in Worcester, it seems. So, but you said that the responding to, Namaste Woo or the introduction of like an Indian restaurant within such a staple place such as the Worcester Marketplace in such an early stage of its conception, so you say the reception was received quite well.
Absolutely. And especially I think the market was a great place for us to start, was because I believe there are around 14 different cuisines in the market. So it was already kind of a place where there is world food being delivered to the public.
Right.
So it was not like we're having like a brick and mortar store outside where all the promotion, all the marketing, everything is up to you. I think this handled a lot of that for us. The people who came to the market were very open-minded people. And so they liked Namaste Woo. It took a little while, obviously, like all businesses take. But it was a very positive response overall. Yeah.
And I know you stated that, you kind of started off in the corner of the Worcester public market. So you guys were kind of in the back for a little bit, but now, 2025, you guys kind of have that prime real estate now where when, you're driving down the main side street, you see...
We have our own door.
You have your own door,
such a big thing.
your own sign. So you're like, okay, I know this restaurant's there, Namaste Woo, because, a lot of the other restaurants in here, you have to physically kind of come in to see what it has to offer. So
absolutely.
What was that kind of journey, or what was that process like, to finally come to a bigger spot within the market itself?
I think it was definitely a very earned process. And I think I would thank all of our customers for that. I think they're the mainest and biggest reason that we are where we are right now. So we did start off with like a really corner booth. So we were doing, like only appetizers. We had a very basic menu, and slowly but steadily, people really liked us. We were the first Indian food for many people, and people really enjoyed us. They gave us a lot of love, a lot of support, and because of that, within the back aisle, we actually expanded. So we broke the wall, and we got our space into technically two booths, and I think that was a big peak for Namaste Woo. I think we were tremendously busy at that time. The economy was booming at that time, and it was like a great, definitely prime time for Namaste. And then this place opened up, and people were already starting to say that, you need to have your own little space, your own little table setting, and you should maybe, if you have like one of these booths on this aisle, you could have your own timing. So we're like, okay, this is what they want to, and if we get it, wonderful. And then right at that time, we got this place.
It's always nice when your business is, reciprocated well, or received well by not only, the people you're giving the food to, but also the space that you're in, seeing that, hey, this business is doing great. Like we should really kind of, push them more, give them their own space, or, give them a bigger space since, they're bringing in so many new customers, or since they're doing so well. So I do want to, again, touch on the subject of, how you kind of brought a piece of Indian cuisine to Worcester.
Mhm.
Are you guys originally from Worcester, or where were you guys like raised?
So we are actually from India.
Okay.
We like immigrated over here,
Mhm.
and we've been here for quite a few years, but we actually don't live in Worcester. We live in Shrewsbury.
Okay.
But Worcester is a very developing city. It has like, the highways, the airports, and it's definitely getting a lot of traction in these few years, we have noticed.
Mhm.
And people are really working on, making this the next Boston.
Right.
So that's why we chose that, Worcester is the place that we should start something of our own. And like I mentioned with the spices and everything, we were actually associated with the food hub,
Okay.
the kitchen that is in Worcester. So we already started to have contacts here in the city. And that was a big reason. So somebody knows somebody, somebody knows somebody.
That chain, that snowball effect.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So that's why we're here.
There you go. I was going to say, I was talking to my, coworker, my colleague, Chris, talking about how, the Worcester Public Market and just this kind of area in Kelly Square is starting to become more of like the heart of Worcester, I feel.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen what Kelly Square used to look like prior.
There was a farmer's market in this building space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was...
But just like even like the Rotary that's there now, like have you ever seen it without?
No, I've
Yeah.
heard it, but no, I haven't.
It was quite the hectic and the hectic area, very sporadic and go go go. But now I feel like when people drive through Kelly Square now, they're able to kind of see. They have to take the time and they can see the surrounding businesses and stuff like that. There's more attractions for sure, that are more in your face. And obviously the Worcester Public Market is one that smacks you right as you're driving by. So
Absolutely.
it's definitely a prime spot to have if you're, I think, conducting any sort of food business in Worcester.
I think any business. I think the food in Worcester is really thriving. I mean, as a restaurant myself, I know a lot of other food business owners. So definitely it is a very thriving place, no matter whether you're in Kelly, because we're not even like technically downtown.
Right.
But we're doing good here. Downtown guys are doing good. But I think any business in Worcester in today's day will thrive.
Yeah. So I know you talked about, your mom, you're a big fan of your mom's cooking. And that's kind of, you were one of the pushing factors of, being such a supporter of opening this business. Were there any other kind of turning points that kind of happened in your life or even with your parents that, really solidified like, this is what we have to do?
I think we all were very soon when, I mean, obviously, as I said, we are a big like foodie family. We love our food. So when Mama did decide that, okay, she should definitely pursue this because she's been a homemaker for the last 25 years. So this is like second skin and she truly enjoys it. She truly enjoys spreading the love to her family, to the community. And that's the way it is even in India. We are a very hospitable country. So we definitely love treating our people, and food is something that we all bond over, regardless of where we're from, what are we doing, where we are. So she really liked that and she wanted to pursue something in that. Hence, when the idea came that, okay, like back when we were still doing spices, we all caught on pretty quick. We all were like, okay, you know what, let's do this. Because it's not something that like, there was no like particular turning point. It was just throughout the years.
Right.
It was something that joined all of us. And it's something that joins everyone now today too.
Right.
So that's why we decided to like immediately enact upon it that, we should do this.
Nice. So yeah, I know you mentioned kind of like some keywords for us, like talking about passion and, really taking the opportunity on yourself to kind of go after what you're passionate about and, kind of spreading that to others who may not get to experience it. The sweatshirt that I'm wearing, it says bet on yourself.
Absolutely.
We have one that says exactly like verbatim, pursue your passion, work without applause. But yeah, so the one that says work without applause, that one's basically kind of like our main message. Because we were talking before about how much kind of goes into a business and you know, pursuing your passion. It's not all, you know, sunshine and rainbows. There's kind of that darker side, or that, you know, that side where it puts a lot of stress on you as a businesswoman, as an owner, or just anyone who is pursuing their dreams. Would you be able to kind of provide any insight into what like you or your family kind of go through behind the scenes? Because obviously, you know, when you're here, everyone sees what's going on, but what kind of goes on when the operation isn't in the forefront?
Yeah, no, I feel like as an entrepreneur, everybody goes through their own shares of like difficulties and something that's out of the normal. I think something that was really big for us was that, so we're open Wednesday through Sunday. And we all have like our own work and everything Monday through Friday. So we actually lost our weekend to our business and to the market. And I feel that was a really big change, but I feel that was a good change because now we're like 24/7. And it's, you know how they say, like when it's something that you love, it's not really work anymore. And this is something that we all as a family too have bonded over. So even though we technically have lost our weekends, we share that social time, we share that quality time with our customers, with our co-vendors, our co-businesses. And I think the market played a very big role here because now it's like we all are a big family.
Yes.
Like this is our social circle. This is our potluck time. This is our, you know, get together. And we do all our holidays here.
Oh, wow.
Because like we're not open like for the holiday, but obviously prior to the holiday, we do celebrate. The market does get dressed up. For Halloween, we're like, you know, all little kids are in here. For Christmas, we're all in here. Santa's in here. So we're definitely sharing very core and key moments together. So now it's like, you know, this is our social circle. So initially it wasn't not like an issue, but it was definitely something different.
Right.
And especially because we're a family of 4. Where were we sharing our quality time together? So now we are sharing our quality time within the market, in the market, with our employees, with our co-vendors. So that was a change, and I think that was a very healthy change.
Because I was going to say, you know, a lot of time with kind of pursuing your passion, you're giving up a lot, such as, like you stated, your social time. It could be times with loved ones or, you know, friends, stuff like that. But, you know, like you said, since you guys all kind of run it as a family, that's kind of how you guys bond in a certain and special way together, which is very unique, I feel. But I've always found it difficult for myself to want to work with family. So how does that kind of dynamic work for you guys?
It is very dynamic. I will always tell you that. But I feel like, you know, in today's world where we all are being very nuclear, this is definitely a great team building exercise. And this is an exercise that's been running for 5 years. So I think it's brought us together more.
Good.
Whereas, you know, how you have the occasional little tips, the occasional little arguments, but somewhere or the other, we are all wanting the best for each other, for the business. And that's why it never really escalates. It never really reaches the point where it becomes an issue. It's something that's, you know, it's out of good heart. It's out of good intention, no matter who's thinking what. It's all for the betterment of ourselves, of Namaste Woo, and hence it's all forgiven somewhere or the other. But yeah, I mean, family tips are always there.
Bound to happen.
Always. Oh, she's not doing that much work, or oh, I'm not doing that much work. But I think somewhere or the other, we all found that
balance.
That balance where, you know, we're more forgiving towards each other. We hold each other to the test, but that's for a good reason. Because we want each other to grow. So it's definitely worked out very well. Yes.
So I was going to say, even kind of when it comes to, you know, Lights Out Collective, it's, you know, Chris and I, and then 4 other guys. So that's kind of like the core kind of group in itself. And, you know, they've been friends for a long time. I was kind of the outlier who kind of joined the group, but like, I fit in right away, or they accepted me right away. So I was able to kind of have that smooth transition. But I think like you were saying, you know, you kind of hold each other to a certain standard. Like you guys want to see each other be better each and every day and succeed.
Yeah.
And how arguments are unfortunately inevitable, but
I think they're healthy.
right.
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, exactly, like you have to you can't keep it all bottled in. You have to kind of voice your opinion in order to kind of, you know, get it out there and evolve.
Yeah.
Not only as an individual, but as a group and as a collective of like-minded people. You know, you want to continue to, you know, see your business thrive, and then as the business thrives, you and your friends or you and your family continue to thrive as well.
Yes.
I do think it is important, though, you know, to not bring any of that stuff home. Which, how do you think that is? Because you physically, do you live with your parents?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
So that's the thing. So it's like when we go home at the end of the day, we all kind of go home to our separate homes. So we kind of can't bring it home with us technically.
It all comes home.
It does.
All of it comes home.
Okay.
Because when we started the business, it was actually from home. So there was no escaping each other. There's still no escaping each other.
Yeah.
And even here, I feel like we're very, we're not very, how would I say this? That it really brought us together. The fact that we could not escape it once we go home.
Yes.
Right? And in fact, home gave us that little extra privacy to sort it out, right? Rather than having to only sort it out in a professional environment, we had an opportunity to solve any issue that came up, any problem that came up, whether it's not even like the four of us, but it's like, you know, another business issue or another problem that we were having. It definitely gave us a private time to collaborate and to solve whatever we needed to be solved. So definitely the bringing it home factor helped us. And the fact that we couldn't run away from it. We could solve it. And there was no, you are going to be held accountable for whatever you do. And I think it really did help us in a sense, because it's just the four of us. We are a family. I think that is healthy because, you know, at the end of the day, see if there's an agreement between any of us, like we say, we kind of go home and it has to, unfortunately, it lingers and it kind of festers if we don't deal with it right away. Exactly.
Whereas in your case, you know, once you leave
right
work,
away, right at the moment.
You know, so in the comfort of your own home, you know, you've settled down and hey, let's just kind of address whatever needs to be addressed at the end of the day.
And sleep
even
happy.
With us, we love you. You know, we love each other. We just want what's best.
Exactly.
Make today's lesson tomorrow's, you know, progress. So
yes, I like that. Yes,
so,
definitely.
But so you guys have actually a very interesting kind of side story within your own story. You guys recently won an award. For what is the best hot dog in Worcester? Which is very, very, I think, peculiar. You know, an Indian restaurant being recognized for a hot dog, especially when you have something like Coney Island. You know, I think anyone in Worcester or the surrounding areas know Coney Island, but you guys beat them out this year. But can you kind of give us the rundown of the whole inspiration behind that creation?
So we did the hot dog safari this year, but we have actually had the hot dog on our menu like 6 to 7 months before the actual event, actually a year before. And actually one of the market people, they loved the hot dog. So they're like, okay, you know what, you need to bring this to a proper stage and you need to showcase this to the Worcester community, because definitely the hot dog is something that is unique to an Indian restaurant. And the reason why we ended up doing it is because we're always tinkering with our menu. So we do serve like traditional Indian cuisine, like we have the chicken tikka, we have the lamb curry, but we also wanted, you know, something fun, something a little bit more fusion. And that's when my mom actually, she thought about doing an Indian style hot dog, because usually the meat in the hot dog is not something we can eat. So we were thinking that, okay, you know, let's do it with something that we can eat. So we have this dish in India. It's called the sheikh kebab. It's a very popular chicken kebab. and it's actually perfectly in the shape as you would have a regular hot dog in. And so we're like, okay, let's do this our way. We did the chutneys, we did the few veggies, we did the sheikh kebab, and it tasted awesome to us. So we're like, okay, you know what? We should share this. And we did. The market loved it, and they were actually like, you need to bring this up onto a stage where you can display this. And they reached out to the Worcester Hot Dog Safari for us, and they're like, okay, we'll try you guys next year. We're like, great. So the year went by, and we had some people who were like, wanting to try a little something new. So they tried the hot dog, they loved it, but we never really had like the recognition of it. Like there was still not a lot of people who used to come to us for the hot dog. They would come to us for the Indian cuisine. And then came the day of the hot dog, where actually we were chosen as one of the 6 restaurants in Worcester that were competing that day, and we were actually one of 2 that were new. I think we were new, and I believe Fembar Worcester was also new this year. And so it was, I think, 400 people. Wow. 400 plus people were registered and to come to that event, and they were to go to all restaurants and just eat a hot dog. And oh my God, I was in the kitchen that day, and it was crazy. 6 hours. 6 hours.
Just straight hot dogs, right?
Straight hot dogs. And actually, the kitchen is in such a way that I wasn't able to face the customers. So I'm like making hot dogs for 6 hours, and I don't even know the crowd.
Right.
And apparently, after the whole event was over, a few of the vendors, they shared photos with us, and it was this entire space was just filled. And luckily, these guys were really patient, because we did have a waiting for up to an hour.
Wow.
But that was less.
Right.
That was less.
Yes, much
that
less.
was less compared to some of the other restaurants out there. But they were really patient with us. They would order, and then they would go to another restaurant and place an order there. And then come back and eat with us. But they really enjoyed it. The response was really good. And in fact, I was a little nervous because this is a very traditional, sort of like an American snack, American food. So I was like, I wasn't sure how people are going to like us or not. Because it's a little different, it's going to be spicy. I mean, you can't do Indian food without a little spice. So it was definitely different. So after the whole thing settled down, we went down to collect the award, and everybody had rated that, this is the hot dog, this is the bread, this is the meat, and they rated everything. And just seeing the crowd that was present, I was like, this is like traditional crowd. Like they're needing something that they're eating something that's like their childhood for them. And we're introducing something very new. So I was confident in our product, but I really wasn't sure how the community was going to respond to it. And luckily we won. And I think that is something that made me believe in the community even more. That, these guys are really out there, and they're really open-minded, and they're very love and support for all of us. Because, I mean, without them, we wouldn't have ever been able to be at this stage. So it was another score for the community. And I really like that. And I'm very grateful to the people for that.
So yeah, that hot dog is actually how Chris and I heard about this place through Risa. So we were like, kind of just like, okay, like they're famous hot dog in Worcester, but it's an Indian restaurant. So, we came down when we first met you, and that was like the go-to thing that we wanted to try. And just based off the presentation alone, it's like, it's kind of like a behemoth of a hot dog, because I think even half of the hot dog, I was like, wow, like, like you said, the spice alone, I think was an amazing, something that you don't really get with like a traditional American hot dog, unless it's like, Fenway, but that's just like, green pepper, red pepper, whatever. Boring. But like I said, the presentation of yours is just insane. And then the taste as well. Like you said, it's not that traditional hot dog kind of wiener. So you guys use the kebab, and definitely just a different taste, but with all the spices and everything else on top of it, all the dressings, like amazing. And then, yeah, even with the bread, I was surprised, like, the bread was toasted. So even that extra kind of layer of texture,
Yeah.
definitely kind of, I think, contributes to the hot dog
Absolutely.
kind of experience, because you're so used to kind of either just like a warmed
Yeah.
hot dogs, and I don't
Yeah.
want to say soggy, but it's just warm and very like soft.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, everything about it was amazing. So
Yeah.
and then, yeah, like you said, the spice definitely was there. And then we tried the bullet naan right after, and your mom was like, "You good with spice?" And we were like, "Oh, well, we just ate the hot dog, so I mean, I think we're good." But
Yeah.
so, but even that, the bullet naan with the spice, she might have toned it down a little bit for us, but still very good, very flavorful.
Yeah.
More to come today. I mean, we're excited. I actually came down yesterday. It's so funny because I live 2 minutes from here, like driving distance, like a 5-minute walk. You guys were closed. The whole marketplace was closed.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm going to go in and see them the day before we, kind of do the interview, order something, or I want to, get a bowl and then try one of their coffees. But
Sorry.
yeah, no, it's on me. I'm like, I swore it's at 11 to 7, but Wednesday through Sunday. So
Yes.
But so we talked about all the sacrifices you had to make, everything that was given up in order for this to succeed. During those kind of earlier stages, I know, like you said, you were always busy, doing stuff prior. But were there any doubts kind of moving on to the next level, like transitioning from spices to then a bigger kind of production, and then even with submitting your hot dog to into the competition, like were there any doubts that you kind of faced that might have held you back, and like how did you kind of break through those barriers?
I think there are always doubts that are present. I think that's like a given. It's like part of the package of being an entrepreneur, because you really are at a stage where you are putting yourself out, or some sort of part of you or some sort of representation of you out for people to enjoy, for people to, discuss, judge sometimes. So it's definitely, there is always, more than doubt, I would say skepticism, because would this work? Is this what the community wants? Is this some sort of a problem that we're solving, or is it just for fun? Like, there's a lot of questions that we ask ourselves before presenting something out there. So like you mentioned how we went from spices to meal kits, more than doubt, it was that, okay, maybe this is a solution to the problem that the community was having. So we were a little bit more comfortable with doing that. But the transition from a meal kit to the restaurant, that was a big leap. And that was out of pure faith, pure trust in the four of us, because we had to be there for each other to get through this. So it was more like, can we do this? Is this possible? Is this manageable? And I think we couldn't have done it without that leap of faith. So there's never really an answer to a doubt unless you go ahead and do it. I think that's the only answer that you could ever give yourself, is literally go and do it. So
I love that answer. Just the, talking about the leap of faith, because, that's in essence what it is. Like, you're always going to be unsure of things until you do it. And then similar to what you said, the best way to know the answer is just to get out there and do it, And I always say, I mean, I said this in my last interview, I'd rather put myself out there, fail, and know that I tried my best, as opposed to, 40, 50 years down the line, looking back at, what could have been, and wondering what if I gave it my all? What if I took that leap of faith? And obviously that's no way to live. So, I mean, I implore anyone to kind of, if you have this itch that you just can't seem to kind of, scratch until that step is taken. Would you say the same, like take that step?
Absolutely. I think the community will surprise you, whether that's in like a positive way. Most of the times it's in a positive way. Sometimes it's even in a negative way, and you can't really take it in a negative way because it's a learning curve.
Exactly.
Right? You have to go on it and see what else can you do, because they're the biggest wild cards out there, but they're the biggest, I feel, well wishers, right? Because if it doesn't work for the community, it's not going to work at all. So they're your biggest feedback guys out there. They will literally tell you this works or this doesn't work, and that's fine. I think that's great.
I think in anything you do, you have to kind of have a thick skin in order to receive the praise is, amazing. That's like a high that, you'll never get over. But that criticism sometimes, it could be 50 things of praise, and then you get that one criticism.
And that just ruins everything.
Yes.
But I feel like, you have to, because, now we're living in an age where we get like, reviews, and we're getting comments, and everybody's on social media. Luckily, we have been on the good side of the people. People really do enjoy us. But, there's always people out there who are not going to like what you do.
Right.
And I feel like the realization that you're not going to, be on everybody's good side. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I feel that realization, no matter how much I talk, it won't come unless you experience it.
Right.
It is something that needs to be experienced. And I feel like once you do that, then you're like, okay, so what? I got a good review, or so what? I got a bad review. I'm going to keep doing what I do.
Yeah.
And if I genuinely feel like there's something needs to be changed, then I will go ahead and change it. If I feel like, no, maybe that was just that one person, then I will keep doing what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So it's that realization that it's okay if you are not everybody's cup of tea, right?
Yeah.
It's okay if not everybody's going to like your little spice. And yeah.
So I love how you say you always kind of fall back on like the community, like it's the community's response. But you also stay true to like what you guys do. You stick to your culture, but in this, like I said, in the same breath, the community is also a driving factor for you guys and for your success. What would you say is your why to what you're doing? Is it more so to kind of build that connection with the community? Is it? I mean, I'm sure it's a culmination of things like your mom's passion for cooking and stuff like that. But overall, what do you think is the reason, that you sacrifice so much, your weekends? You're a student as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're a student.
Yes.
So that is like 3 full-time jobs right there. So your plate is fully loaded. What is your why?
I think, yes, it is Mama's passion for doing this. Yes, it is to spread the impact of our culture and spread the love and spread why we do this, what we do this for out there, and also for the community, everything, like you said, culmination. But I also feel like exposure is a very big component of this, to do something that's a little different, a little something that's, out of the ordinary for the 4 of us. My mom is like, into this food. I'm a student. We all have our own little things going on in the background. But doing this business was something that was a little out of the ordinary. And we believe that no matter what comes out of it, it is going to be a learning curve. It is something that we are going to definitely learn from. It's going to lead us to new experiences. It's going to be a good thing overall, no matter what happens. So I think we are also doing it for that. We're also doing because we wanted to try something new. And via that, we were able to make the community try something new. So that was definitely an added bonus. But yeah, I wouldn't take away the exposure from it, because we have definitely learned a lot from doing this.
Yeah.
We have come out as completely different individuals than what we started off with.
Yeah.
There are a lot more skills that we know now. Like I can talk to anybody about anything, anywhere. So that was definitely a big thing that, let's do something new. And obviously, my parents, they have 2 kids, me and my little sister. So, something a little different, because school, yes, teaches you, but nothing teaches you more than experience ever will.
Right.
So this was definitely the thing to do.
Yeah. I love how you said, you were a different person from when you started to how you are now. What is it, 4 years later or so?
Yeah.
And I think you realize in that, you're an advocate for how things don't happen overnight, right? It's always, it's not that instant gratification. It's something, if it's worth having, you have to put the time, the effort, the energy, the tears, fighting. You have to put it into your passion in order to see it grow and come to fruition, which, Namaste Woo has definitely done.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. You can find Namaste Woo on Instagram. Where else?
Instagram, our website, Facebook, TikTok, and we're also available in case you want to like order online. We have DoorDash, we have Uber Eats, we have Grubhub, and you can also call us. We're always on the phone. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, we're about to get some food. Again, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. And check out Namaste Woo. Again, it is Wednesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Do not show up on Tuesday like I did. They will not be open. So check them out, and we will see you in the next one.